So I'm 21 and this past year right after college has been difficult. Honestly, looking back, high school and college felt like riding a bike with training wheels. And the moment you graduate, or for me, just leave college, those training wheels break off and you're always feeling like you're on the verge of falling. And this isn't just occupationally, although I do have friends who have just worked 4 years for this job and are pretty unhappy. That's a whole nother video. Rather, I had no idea how to take care of myself financially, mentally, physically, all of that. I'm now over a year out of college and I feel like I'm starting to get a hang of things, but it's been overwhelming ever since. And luckily, when I was one day just scrolling Twitter, you know, where all great information comes from, I came across this thread about razors. It was a super well-written thread by Sahil Bloom. And he stated that a razor is a rule of thumb that simplifies decision making. Our 20s are defined by the decisions that we make. So any sort of clarity on this topic is crucial. So here are the top 3 razors that have saved me and have given me like imaginary training wheels in this big real life world. Razor number 1, the new Project Razor. If you ever meet someone in their 20s and it seems like they've got life figured out, for example, they're making a crap ton of money and they have all this social media clout, I promise you, it's never as good as it seems. And this is coming from someone who's fortunate enough to talk to so many people who have a crap ton of money and all this social media fame. Those people just tried a bunch of things. If it was Musically in 2018 where everyone thought it was embarrassing, but all of a sudden that led them to be TikTok famous. Or maybe they just started selling like essential oils and now they're somehow the largest essential oil manufacturer in the Western Hemisphere. Yeah, stories like that happen. It's important to try new things at our age, if it's side hustles, passions, etc. However, the new Project Razor gives us an important lesson on starting, well, new projects. When deciding whether to take on a new project, first ask yourself if it's a hell yes opportunity. If not, say no. And if it is, imagine that it's gonna take twice as long and be as half as profitable as you think it's gonna be. If you still wanna do it, then you say yes. Last year, I decided to start a podcast with my co-host, Jack Neal. We both were like, hey, we both got a couple million followers combined, although he did carry most of that weight, and we love the creator space, so why not just talk about it online? This sounded amazing. Like, who knows, if this podcast does well, all of a sudden we're making bank for talking about things that we love. That was the wrong way of thinking. Again, think it's gonna take twice as long and be half as profitable. That's exactly what happened. It took a lot of time and effort, and if we really wanted to scale this thing, I needed to put my all into it. However, it wasn't a hell yes opportunity, I later found out, so I decided to end it. It was the right decision because I got to put way more time into my own content and catch an ice cream. Both of those are hell yes opportunities. Long story short, try a bunch of new things in your 20s. However, make sure it's a hell yes opportunity and that it's probably gonna take a lot longer than you think to make it a monetary reality. Razor number 2, the Feynman Razor.
Hey.
Well, welcome, hey. This is my 16-year-old sister. Hello, Mary.
Hi.
I have a question for you. You have to answer honestly.
All right.
How do banks make money?
That's a good question. I don't know the full answer. I don't know, where does that money come from? Okay.
You see, Mary, it's quite easy. See, banks borrow money from depositors at a certain interest rate and then lend that money out to borrowers at a higher interest rate and profit off that interest rate spread. You get that?
Yeah. No.
We all had that friend who loved to do this. Pretend to be smart by spewing out a bunch of different words that made them seem smart. Rather, the Feynman Razor states, complexity and jargon are used to mask a deep understanding. If you can't explain it to a 5-year-old, you don't understand it at all. If someone uses a lot of complexity and jargon to explain something, they probably don't know it. Okay, so banks have money, right? Like you put your money in a bank, correct?
Yes.
Let's just say you have $1,000 in a bank account. Now, let's just say I need money. I have to buy a new camera and I don't have $1,000, right? I'm doing social media stuff, my business. So you have $1,000 in a bank account. I need money. Let's just say the camera costs $1,000. I can actually go to that bank and ask for $1,000. They'll give me the $1,000 that was in your bank account to me.
What?
It'll still show up $1,000 in your account, but they'll give that money to me, and I'll go buy the new camera. But that's kind of risky on the bank, right?
Yeah, that is.
What they're gonna do is incentivize me to pay that back quickly through interest rates. And let's just say every month that I have the $1,000 and I didn't pay it back, they're gonna charge me $10, right? And they keep that $10. That's how banks make money. You get it?
Thanks. I get it. Yes.
Cool. There's a difference between memorizing and understanding. School unfortunately taught us how to memorize facts, not truly understand them. I've realized one way to gain respect as a 21-year-old from elders is proving that you understand things. You'd be surprised how many people don't know about the social media space, and they respect me for talking about the success that I have thus far. Truly understanding something's a great habit to build on since we're so young, and it sets a great foundation.
Guys, my son just graduated. If you can wish him congratulations.
Thank you.
Woo! Somebody wish him congratulations. He feels embarrassed.
Put the camera down.
Are you embarrassed? This is like public pranking 101.
It's a fuck. I don't like
this. This is New York, bro.
And number 3, most importantly of all, the young and old test. Make decisions that your 80-year-old self and your 10-year-old self would be proud of. Your 80-year-old self cares about the long-term compounding effects of the decisions you make today. And your 10-year-old self reminds you to stay foolish and have some fun along the way. This is everything to me. I literally left college to make videos online, which then led me to co-found an ice cream shop in New York City. It literally feels as if my 10-year-old self was making my life decisions today. If you're in your early 20s, just remind yourself that life has just begun. Be responsible and set yourself up for the future so that your 80-year-old you is proud, but also experience a ton. I just took 2 of my best friends from college to kickboxing, something they were incredibly uncomfortable with. But after the class, we all loved it. It was so adrenaline-filled, and that inner child within us came out. Experience more, your 10-year-old self will thank you. And thank you again, Sahil Bloom, for compiling such a powerful tweet thread. If this video gets 200 likes, that's it, 200, I'll make a part 2. If you enjoyed, I plan on making more videos like this, so consider subscribing.
You're turning more red than a tomato, and you're brown. Your skin should never turn red.
Congrats.
There you go!
Thank you.